What is going on, Aries? So this reading is for those of you that have Aries as your North Node placement. So please keep in mind that my readings, as always, are general in nature, meaning they're not going to resonate with all of you, nor are they meant to. So please take what fits, leave the rest behind for those it's meant for. Okay. So this reading is for the rest of 2024. Now, what I do want to make clear for those that are unaware, those that need the reminder, that the real new year is actually March 20th. Okay. So when I'm saying the rest of 2024, that is the span of time that I'm talking about, from whenever you see this video up until at least March 20th of 2025. That is when the real new year takes place. Okay. So you don't have to take my word for it. Please do your research. It is out there. Okay. So I do want to get into the bottoms of the decks that I've used for you, which I will do here in a second. But before I even started recording your started your reading, started your pre-shuffle, I was already getting messages. Like, I went to use the bathroom, as I already called in my spirit team, my guidance, to, you know, ground me into this present moment and allow the messages to come through clearly and accurately, and, you know, keep me safe and covered as I deliver the messages for you guys. Like, I was already getting downloads. I did that first before I was like, well, let me use the bathroom before I go, just so I don't have to, you know, break my, you know, break my channeling to do that later. So but I was, you know, sitting there and already getting downloads for you guys. So I was just like, what the heck? So just, you know, preparing, I was already getting stuff coming in, you know, for you guys. So the words that I was getting was I was hearing abandoning your North Node. Some of you have maybe abandoned your North Node, or some of you have been really stepping into this North Node has maybe been really difficult for some of you. And understandably so. I'm right there with you as the Aries North Node myself, at least through Vedic astrology. It's I heard some of you have been abandoning it, meaning some of you have maybe, like I said, had a hard time stepping into it, really accepting that this is the role that you're supposed to take. So as far as the way I understand the Aries North Node is, it's the sign of independence, meaning coming out of the codependent energy and stepping into being more self-sufficient, more independent, more self-reliant, right? It doesn't mean that we can't have support from other people or be in partnerships and things like that, but it's coming out of that urgency or that desire, that longing for other people, or to, you know, need, you know, help and all those things, but more so learning how to rely more on ourselves to, you know, for in the event that people can't show up for us, won't show up for us, maybe can't show up properly the way we need them to, that we're okay, that, you know, we can do what we need to do for ourselves. So, and then that's just a very vague, you know, in a nutshell, type of, I guess, interpretation of the Aries North Node. So, few messages that I'm already getting here is at the bottom of the deck. This one in particular is a Taurus energy for birdcage. So this is the energy that some of you, it feels like, are like coming out of. Okay, as it may seem like some of you have felt like you've abandoned your North Node, or have, like I said, been having a hard time really stepping into it, really embodying what that means, allowing yourself to come out of this codependent energy and more so rely more on yourself, and really getting clear about what that means for you, what really needs to be done, what needs to happen, what needs to be released, what needs to let go of in order for you to step into more of that aspect of yourself, right? Because essentially your North Node is out of your comfort zone, right? Your South Node is the energy that you're good at. You've gotten great at that. You've mastered that, essentially. Maybe, you know, not completely, but for the most part, where you've done enough with that, you've lived it enough, it's comfortable enough to where now it's time to do kind of the opposite of that, right? That's what the North Node is the opposite of the South. So it feels like some of you have been maybe having a hard time, or feeling like, you know, like it's taking forever, it's taking a long time, but it's like this is where you guys are at currently, okay? Where it's like you're in between this space of leaving this old life behind and coming into the new. Others of you are in this current space of where it may not have been clear exactly where you're going, or what that looks like, or what's ahead exactly. But it's going to become clearer coming into this new year. Okay. And it makes sense because the winter time, that's like, you know, where it's like the season of hibernation, the season of maybe planning what you're going to do ahead, right? But this isn't the time to actually plant the seeds. That's what the real New Year's for, which is basically springtime. Okay. Because essentially the way we've been taught to plant seeds in basically in snow, they're not going to grow. And that's essentially, in the 3D sense, That's why when a lot of people make these New Year's resolutions, they don't actually stick to them. They don't actually come to fruition. And that's why, because we are essentially planting seeds in the wrong season. The soil isn't yet fertile. It's not yet in the right environment for those seeds to actually, take fruit and grow, like, bear fruit the way they're supposed to. So again, we have flowers here at the bottom as well. So some of you may be seeing, different flowers. They may be of significance. Some of you are being encouraged to maybe buy yourself flowers. That's a really beautiful way to express love for yourself, to actually lighten up your space, bring in inspiration and, good energy, positive energy into your space. I love buying myself flowers. I don't require them from other people, but I love being able to do that for myself. It's a part of my self-care practice, and I love being able to do that. I love how flowers make me feel in my space. I love having them around. I love how they smell. I love how it looks. I love when I see them. It just, makes me feel good on the inside, all those things. So some of you maybe haven't done that in a while. Some of you haven't done that at all. And that's, these are little small, but yet powerful, easy ways to start really bringing more of that energy to you, right? So it's like, for those that maybe have been used to people buying you stuff in that sense, maybe this is, these are little ways that you can start doing those things for yourself. And that's also a part of stepping into your North Node energy, being more, again, self-reliant, um actualized, more independent, more self-sufficient, things like that. Really stepping into that emperor energy, but within yourself. Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. We both have both energies within us. So this is about, stepping more into that and, coming out of this cage, releasing yourself, freeing yourself from whatever you've been keeping yourself stuck or trapped in, whether it's an environment, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whatever that is. Some of you, this is really giving you the opportunity here, or really pushing you to really speak your truth, really express yourself, really say, for some of you, what needs to be said. Some of you haven't, done that really. Okay. But I feel like in doing so, it's not only going to create more balance in your life with this temperance energy here, but it's also going to support the healing that some of you are still trying to get to. That's still, maybe for those of you that, like myself, have, experienced the abandonment wound, right? um where my real father wasn't there, for all of my life, really. And by the time I met him, he was, 6 months later, he was gone. He, passed from stage 4 lung cancer. So, for me, it was kind of like an opportunity for me to now see it from a different perspective, that, if he was supposed to be there for me, he would have been. If he had the ability, if he was capable of that at that time with where he was, he would have been there. But it was also showing me that I didn't need him as much as I thought I did. Like, not everybody is supposed to be this savior to us, or not everybody's supposed to, give us the things that we thought we needed from them. That's kind of like an expectation that society has taught us, that your parents are supposed to do all these things for you, but that's not always the case, right? It's nice to have those things, especially when you're a little kid and you're like forced to depend on other people. Not everybody has that luxury, right? But it doesn't mean that they're not capable. Sometimes that happens to show them how powerful they really are. And I'm speaking from a soul level. So while the human that, feels hurt and feels abandoned and feels, unworthy, and feels hurt and all these things, from those experiences, it's, when you look at it from a higher perspective on a soul level, that happened how it needed to show us that, maybe they weren't there, because it's showing me how strong I really am without them. Like, I didn't need them as much as I thought I did. I didn't need their love or their support as much as I thought I did. Or maybe the support that they had was not what was best for me. That's why it wasn't there. And in that's meaning that I was safe. I was kept safe. I was protected during that time. And so that means that, I'm like that. For me to allow myself to see it like that is like, wow, I'm so grateful that, the people that were most beneficial to my growth and to my experience and what I needed to, learn up until this point to put me in my North Node, they were there. Those people were a pivotal part of my experience, right? So, um, so it feels like some of you may be dealing with something similar. But let's get into your theme messages. So first card that came out was To the Sea, card number 7. Okay. Some of you may be a life path number 7. We also have 2 here, which is Summer, the mother. So some of you, this could definitely be a mother wound. Some of you obviously may be moms, and then we also have Believe. Okay. So I don't really care to use the word believe anymore, but just because when you break down the word belie, right? Belie, right? So it's like the things that we essentially kind of want to convince ourselves to think when we really don't believe or really don't trust, what it is that we want to, the mindset that we want to adopt. So we believe it, right? It's something that you really don't have proof of. you really don't truly believe in it. It's so we lie to ourselves instead in order to try to, force ourselves to think something that isn't there or that we really don't feel innately is true. So I don't care for that word anymore for that reason. But um this feels like for some of you, you guys, again, it feels like things aren't really clear at this time, and these are very similar messages here in nature. Okay, this is, essentially where some of you have been in this energy where it feels like you don't know where you're going. You don't really know where the universe is taking you. Maybe the signs ahead aren't very clear. Maybe it feels foggy, and this is kind of like just you're being told to basically just trust the universe is guiding you, trust your spirit team, your guides, whatever it is that you believe in, because that face there that's hiding in the clouds, that's spirit watching over you, guiding you. Even if you can't see it, spirit knows exactly where it is you're heading. So that's why it feels like this is, energy that is unseen to you, is that whatever has been unclear, like I said, you're coming out of that, coming, stepping into, for some of you, this may be, you may have more clarity or all the clarity you need, where the fog is completely lifted by the summertime, by, next summer. Others of you, um this just is, there's this energy of realizing that the way things are playing out is exactly how it needs to. Okay, divine timing with the fates here, divine timing is at play. All right, so it feels like there's just this need to really do your best to trust, and that's where again this, belief comes in, is more so to trust that the steps that you need will appear as you need them, that you don't have to stress, you don't have to fret, you don't have to, worry. You just have to know and do your best with where you're being inspired to go, what it is you're being inspired to do those things as they come up. That's something, one major lesson I've been learning over the past couple years, actually, where of me being a Virgo sun, it's like I need to know the plan. I need to know, it's helpful for me. It makes me feel at peace. It feels, it basically soothes my ego, right? That part of me that's scared, that part of me that is fearful, that is your ego, right? So that's where it feels like some of you are again being asked to be, kind of be more patient with the process. Okay, do your best to stay as balanced as you can, as you're coming out of this foggy energy, or out of, really not knowing what's ahead or how this is going to go, how this is going to play out. Okay, you're being asked to really just trust that you're being guided in the right direction, that as things are meant to unfold, they will, and you'll know exactly what to do with it as you receive that information. So, whatever it is that this may be holding you back, this is the opportunity to release those things, whether it's fear, whether it's insecurities, doubts, unworthiness, lack, whatever those things are that is maybe holding you back or keeping you maybe stuck, caged, dependent on other people. This is that period of where it feels like you don't know what's ahead, you don't know where you're going. This is the time to use that energy to transmute it, right? So it's like, while you're waiting, what are we doing in the waiting period, right? So first question that we had for spirit was, where are you guys at currently? How is this not where are you at currently, how has the North Node journey been for you up until this point? So I pulled original cards as well as clarifiers. So we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Seven of Swords. So that makes sense with this, caged, codependent energy, this in between worlds where it's like you're kind of like feeling stuck in the middle. So how this has been up until this point is where it feels like some of you have really been in this energy of feeling stuck, maybe sabotaging your own success. For some of you, that's not going to be for all of you. So, but if it triggers you, that's coming up for a reason. um but the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is really an indication of, it feels like some of you have maybe been sabotaging your goals, where it's like the things that you want to do or that you've been, committed to, it's like some of you haven't been able to follow through. And it could be because of, whatever it is that you're stuck or caged in. Maybe people around you that are jealous, okay? People around you that are trying and purposely, intentionally trying to keep you stuck or trapped, sending you negative energy, sending you energy of, like wanting to just you to be stuck with them, or not wanting you to leave, wanting to keep you safe, or that's what they tell you, that they want to keep you safe, but they really just want to keep your energy there. They don't want to see you grow and get better, because then that means that you don't need them anymore, right? um so it feels like some of you, that's where you have been in this energy of, really not believing that you can be self-sufficient, so therefore some of you have been not taking the proper action, or the action you need to take to prove yourself, incorrect, that I actually can stand on my own. I actually can, see things through to completion, right? But this is also an energy of deception. Okay. Some of you have been, in this energy of, or being around people, like I said, that have kept you in this codependent energy of this energy of where you need to rely on them, you need to depend on them. But it was done on purpose. Okay. This isn't for everyone, but for some of you that I'm talking to here, that is what this energy is representing, where someone in your circle or in your space has been purposely trying to keep you tied to them, right? Because they don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you move on, because it feels like, when a lot of times when people can see that you're growing, they can see that you're changing, you're shifting, you're, just switching timelines, whatever, then it's like, and they're not doing it. It makes it very clear that you're growing and they're not. And a lot of people don't want to see that, right? So it feels like, that could also be what some of you have been experiencing with people around you that have been, oh so helpful, just to keep you comfortable enough to where you stay with them longer. I've experienced that personally, so I'm, this is also from experience. Like, I could see it so clearly. So some of you, like I said, have gone through the same thing. Now what I'm also getting here is with the Seven of Swords is, some of you have been, really doing your best to try to strategize, to try to come up with a way to free yourself from this caged energy. And it feels like some of you haven't really been seeing much progress with that. You haven't really seen much, change in that. So it's, some of you are really kind of like maybe wanting to give up. And that's where some of you have been sabotaging yourself, kind of lying to yourself, making you think that I'm going to always have to be here, nothing's going to change. Some of you, that's what this energy is giving me as well, is this energy of like, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of, pushing and trying, it's just not working. Some of you have been in this energy as well, of where it's just like, I don't know what to do at this point. It's just, I keep trying, keep trying to put forth effort, and it's just not working. It's making me emotional. So for those of you that resonate, I get it. I get it. I get it. But that is, again, where Spirit is saying, trust your process. Trust, the timing of the situation. Do your best to stay balanced. Do your best to transmute that energy, because that is what the temperance is they're able to find balance by way of turning water into wine, meaning using whatever energy is within your situation, your circumstance, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, whether it's, this self-sabotaging energy, or people around you that are trying to keep you stuck, whatever the energy is that you're feeling. Figure out ways to use that energy to help you move forward, to help you leave behind and release what isn't serving you, and continue to move forward and push forward the way you should, the way you need to, the way some of you are being really called to. It feels like a lot of you, it's like your soul is crying for freedom. Your soul is crying to be released, to be free, set free in some type of way. And that is, again, what this energy is, where some of you are doing a little, I feel like, better than you think you are, but it's the timing is at play here, okay, with the yang energy. So this is, again, about taking action. So some of you, that is what this is about. And it makes sense, because the emperor is the masculine energy in the tarot, right? That is the major arcana of Aries. So some of you, that is what's required here, is to really step into your masculine energy in order to free yourself, as well as working with, your spirit team and guides, allowing things to happen as it needs to. But when you're able to take action, make sure you're doing so and not sabotaging your own progress, your own growth, by way of not doing anything at all. Okay. So where are you guys at currently when it comes to your North Node? We have the Nine of Cups. Okay. So this can definitely represent overindulgence. Some of you may be, finding that things that you've been asking for are finally coming to fruition. And it makes sense, because, that's also this period as well, is, especially, we just had a full moon not too long ago. So some of you may have been, in that energy of kind of feeling like, okay, I'm finally feeling and seeing, like observing that I'm actually doing a little bit better than I thought. I'm actually more on track than I thought I was. Okay. Others of you have been in this energy of maybe having too much going on, having kind of like, maybe kind of numbing yourself. That could be some of you, how you've been sabotaging yourself as well. If you find yourself, drinking too much, smoking too much, doing things to try to numb how you feel. Some of you are really being asked to face that. That's where it gives me the abandonment, abandoning your North Node, that message I received at the very, very beginning of the reading. That could be part of what this is stemming from. And I've related to that as well. That's why I'm currently I want to say day 19 maybe, on a no vice challenge. So clarifying that is the Knight of Pentacles. So some of you, like I said, it feels like maybe things have been taking quite a long time, where it feels like some of you have been like maybe taking your time. And it's because, or it feels like things are taking a long time, like I said, to shift or to change. And for some of you, are not realizing that whatever it is that maybe you're overindulging in or doing a little bit too much of, right? Being too comfortable with where you are is why things are taking so long, or why it feels like, maybe your money isn't coming in as fast as it could be. Okay. Now, others of you have been in this energy of, putting plans together, trying to make plans for the long term, making plans for the future. Okay. And that's, definitely a beautiful place to be in as well. But allow yourself to also remember that even in your planning, you still have to let, give, things its own time to come to fruition. The same way, it's easy to create a baby very quickly, right? As far as like conceive it, but it takes time, right? That whole 9 months of time for it to go through that process of actually coming into being, coming into the little human that births into this baby. Okay. So that's where it feels like some of you are at, where you're being asked to be patient and do your best to stay grounded during this process of culmination, during this process of figuring out what the next step is. Where am I going? Where am I heading? What am I stepping into? Where am I supposed to be taking action? All those things. Okay. So the energy that is ahead, what is possible. Ooh, beautiful. So you have the Ace of Cups clarified by the Queen of Cups. So this feels like what's ahead for you is not only a lot of self-love, a lot of, pouring into yourself, just feeling like I'm more than enough. I know I'm capable. I have everything that I need. And just feeling so reliant on yourself, right? This is that energy of not only your creativity overflowing, where some of you are maybe coming into so many creative ideas that can also essentially free you from whatever it is you feel like you're stuck or trapped in, but also letting your creativity shine, let it come out, let it be expressed, let it be seen, let it be heard. That is, what this is as well under here. Okay, the microphone. So that's about expressing yourself, letting whatever this creative energy is that some of you are getting so much of, letting that overflow, letting it come up, letting it come out. Okay. But this is what's possible for you. This is what's ahead, is this energy of just loving yourself so fucking much that you're no longer willing to let things keep you stuck, tied, or bound. You're no longer letting things try to keep you small and keep you stuck, keep you dim your light or not let you shine. It's like some of you have been, that's what you've been around for far too long, not realizing that, it's really the energy of your environment, maybe the people around you that see your growth. They see, a lot of people can see what you are, who you're meant to be before you can. And then they use that against you without us knowing, right? That, I mean, I'm just saying that's just how it is sometimes. It is what it is. But when you can identify that and recognize that, yeah, I get it. I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm evolving. And a lot of people don't want to see that because it just simply shows them the growth that they're not experiencing, how much they're not changing, right? And that has nothing to do with us, right? So, this is what's available to you. What I'm also getting here, though, is this can also be an opportunity, okay? An opportunity that some of you have not only manifested, but something that is gonna, a way to do something that you love, like a gift from the universe, literally the hand of the divine, giving you an opportunity to do something that maybe you've never done before, or to do something that you really, really love, that is not only creative, but it also pours into you the way you pour into it. Like it's so in alignment with your soul's journey, with what your soul needs, that it makes you feel so overflowing. Like it just feels so good within your spirit to do it, where you don't mind it. It doesn't feel like work because it's so, you love doing it so much. Okay, for those of you that have been maybe struggling trying to figure out, well, what is my North Node? What does that look like for me? This is for some of you the way how you figure out what that is. What do you love doing? Asking yourself these questions. What do I love doing? What do I like creating? Where does my creativity lie? What keeps calling me that maybe I've put aside? Or what did I used to like doing as a child that I really, really loved but somehow got away from? Some of you, this is the opportunity to ask yourself these questions, and then the universe is going to provide the opportunity for you to not only do that but also get compensated for it. Okay, so where spirit wants you to focus for the remainder of 2024 is the High Priestess. Okay, beautiful. And that's clarified by the Princess of Cups. So what spirit wants you to focus on is, not only, I'm getting two messages here. So the first one is focus on, what is your intuition telling you about your creativity? What comes to you What is the first thing that comes to you? Because your brain gives you literally 5 seconds before it kicks in and tells you, no, it can't be that easy. No, I already tried that. It's not that. Or no, whatever it is that your brain, tells you to throw you off track. You can't always trust your mind. Okay. I'm just saying that's where your intuition comes in and why it's so important. Okay. You literally have 5 seconds. So that first, answer that comes when you ask the question, what should I be? What is my North Node calling me to? Or what is that? What am I supposed to be doing as it pertains to my North Node? How would I make money? Whatever that is, listen to the first thing that comes to you, okay? And start from there. Allow yourself to go back to what you used to maybe do as a child. What did you enjoy I just talked about that. And here's the Princess of Cups. This is that childlike energy that some of you are really being asked to kind of like allow yourself to dive back into for answers. Allow yourself to maybe go into meditation and talk to your inner child, talk to that part of you that, used to like maybe do certain things that you really was really good at as a kid, but you got away from. Or becoming an adult, it kind of like you steered away from it because you're too old for that now, whatever that is. This is spirit saying, listen to your intuition because it's talking to you, it's telling you. Now, the other message I was getting is that some of you are really being asked to focus on, you know, having more optimism around what you can't see, especially, when it comes to like this energy here of being, kind of like in between spaces of leaving this old life behind and coming into the new. Spirit is saying, trust what you can't see. Do your best to trust your intuition about what is happening. So even if you can't really see it yet, trust that your seeds are growing behind the scenes. Okay. Have more optimism, step more into that optimistic part of yourself that can trust that things are aligning just as they need to, that the answers I need will be revealed right when I need them. Okay. And as long as you trust that and continue to push that energy out, that is what you're going to see. Because no matter if it's the thing is the energy that is stronger is what's going to dominate the situation. So meaning if your trust that even if I can't see what's ahead, I know that I'm being, guided. I know that it's going to reveal itself. All right, my bad. Got to feed my snake. So anyway, whatever energy, if you can trust, have the dominant energy that, I know I'm being guided. I know I'm on the right track. I know that the steps I need will be given to me right when I need them. If that energy can be stronger than the fear, this can be stronger than the doubt, I don't know what's ahead and I'm scared and all that. Whichever one of those energies is stronger, that is what you're going to ultimately see, happen in your experience. And regardless of how it plays out, that is where your power lies, is being able to identify it and see it for what it is. Like, okay, because this is the result that I'm experiencing, that just shows me which energy was stronger. And then now that I am aware of that, I can then go forward and decide that I'm now going to put more focus and more energy into my optimism, more focus and energy into, trusting my intuition over anything else, especially when I can't see what's ahead, trusting, what may be hidden from me at this time, in the knowing that it'll be revealed right when I need it. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that whatever energy is stronger is what's going to dominate. Okay. The same thing with the tug of war. Whatever side is stronger is going to pull the other, to its side. It's the same thing, literally. So the energy that is supporting you at this time. So we had two that came out for you guys. We had the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands. That's beautiful. So this is the choice. Okay. We also have the Two of Wands that was at the bottom of this deck as well, underneath the Temperance. I didn't really talk about it because nothing came to me about it at the time, but it's showing up here again. Okay. So like I said, that's hidden energy, but it's about to be revealed, meaning the choice. What path are you going to choose? This is what's supporting you at this time from now until the real new year. Okay. Is the choice, the deciding. What are you willing to leave behind to step into the new? What direction are you going to choose to go? Okay, you have that option. You don't have to go, you don't have to pursue your North Node if you don't want to, but understand that there's also results and consequences that come with that as well. Okay, it's not to say that stepping into your North Node or choosing your North Node is going to be easy. By all means, it isn't, but it's here because you're more than capable. You're more than able to do this. You're more than equipped than you think you are to actually, be successful in your North Node. So, this is what's supporting you here. Okay. Is you making the decision and then taking the next step and the next step to making the decision and the steps aligning to you. This is forward progression, going in the direction you need to go. You just need to make the choice. Okay. And this is spirit saying, your spirit team and guides telling you, we're supporting you the whole way. We're supporting whatever decision you make. Okay. So you just have to know that, the choice is always going to be yours. And then what are you going to do after you make the decision? What are you going to, do going forward? What are you going to do with the information or whatever that comes to you? When it comes, what do you do with that? How are you going to take, that choice and move it forward, right? What do you want to see come out of that, right? You're being supported in whatever choice it is that you decide to make. So it feels like for those of you that will decide to move forward into your North Node energy, or whatever it is that is coming to you about your North Node, this is your indication that you are being supported, that it is maybe in the right direction. So for those of you that may be listening to this and they're like, well, I have this, what came to me, the first thing that came up about my North Node is maybe being an artist, painting. I love doing it. I'm really good at it. People love it. I just didn't think I could make money from it. For some of you, if that is what's coming to you, this is where you're being supported. That, yeah, leave the old life behind, whatever 9 to 5 or whatever. That is just an example. Okay. They're being asked to make that choice. That you trust that you'll be supported. And this is your indication that, yes, we are supporting you, that once you make that decision, we will give you the backing you need to keep moving forward. Where those of you are kind of like, maybe concerned, like, well, if I make this decision, if I leave this job, some of you aren't really trusting that you'll be still provided for in making that decision when the money runs out, right? Some of you aren't trusting that the universe will continue to provide for you as long as you believe and know that you can be provided for, right? This is them letting you know. All you need to do is make the decision, and we got you. We got the rest. We'll guide you. We'll give you what you need, because this is also about your ships coming in, meaning things you've asked for, things you've been manifesting coming in. But you have to be willing to make the choice. You have to be willing to leave behind the fear, leave behind the old life to step into the new. What are you willing to leave? That's what's supporting you. What are you willing to leave behind to step into who you are, who you're supposed to be? What old version are you willing to leave behind to step into the new version? Some of you aren't. That's why you've been abandoned. Some of you have been abandoning your North Node, or really not fully stepping into it, because some of you just simply aren't ready to leave the old version behind. Some of you, that's a sacrifice that you're either not willing to make, or others of you aren't ready to make. Knowing that, damn, I have to leave all of who I thought I was behind in order to step into this new version. Some of you, that is the sacrifice, is leaving the old life behind to step into the new, So clarifying that is the 10 of Wands, okay? So this is, all the things that have been weighing you down, stressing you out, burdening you, that's supporting you. It's leaving by you making the decision, right? It's alleviating all the stress that some of you have been carrying, right? It's like some of you have been stressed out because you know that your North Node is calling you and you've been ignoring it. So once you make the decision to step into your North Node and start moving towards it, taking action in the ways that you know you're meant to, that is when your soul stops crying. That is when you stop feeling so weighed down about and guilty about not doing more when it comes to that, because you finally made the decision. Some of you, you haven't dedicated yourself. That's where some of you need to start, is just deciding, making the decision that I'm, from this day forward, I'm dedicating myself, that I'm making the decision, I'm letting it be known to my spirit team, my guides, my higher self, that from this day forward, I'm dedicating myself. I'm choosing my North Node. I'm choosing this version that I'm supposed to become. I'm choosing that. And by way of doing that, I'm going to start acting and doing the things that I feel inspired to do as it pertains to that. And in doing so, that is when all the shit that's been stressing you out, that's been weighing you down, that's been heavy on you, that's been making you feel like, oh, I can't move. Some of you, that's just what it is, really that simple, is by declaring that I'm making the decision. I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose the path. I'm going to choose to leave the old life behind to step into the new. And that's when everything that has been weighing you down, keeping you stuck, keeping you bound, tied, all that shit starts just falling away. And it feels like magic. It really does, but it's all energy. So when some of you, it's really that simple as making the choice. That is what's supporting you here, is just making the decision. And then you get to watch all the things that have been energetically weighing you down, right? That only manifest physically because it's been held so long energetically, that it just starts falling away without even trying. Like a lot of people, when they start doing energy work, they wonder why they start losing weight and it just falls off like magic, right? Because they haven't done any exercise. Because it's all energy. When you allow yourself to really tackle the energetic wounds and abandonment and things that make us overeat, that make us, not want to exercise or not move our body, when you allow yourself to heal those things energetically and allow it to come up and come out, you'll watch your whole body transform. You start looking younger, you start feeling younger, you start looking fit, and you ain't even done nothing. That's how easy this shit could be. It really, like, I've done it, and I've, over the years been doing so much learning and research about this stuff. It's crazy. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because if people can really get on board with their energetic healing and allowing themselves to release that energy, that emotions, the pain, and all those things that they're holding on to, you'll watch your body naturally heal itself as a natural byproduct of just letting that shit go, letting it be seen, letting it be acknowledged, and then releasing it, saying, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. No, it was, yeah, no, it wasn't right. Yes, it was fucked up. They don't get a pass, but I see you. It happened. And now let's move forward. We're not holding on to that pain anymore. We're not letting that stop us anymore. We're not letting that stagnate us anymore. Letting that go, it does so fucking much for you. So some of you are really, being asked to do that at this time. That is what's supporting you here. Allowing yourself to really step into the unseen, follow what your intuition is guiding you to do, even if it doesn't seem like it's going to work. That is why you're being asked to focus. Well, if I was a kid, if I go back to when I was a kid, before I got hurt, before this pain, before this abandonment, before this person transitioned or whatever it is, right? How much optimism did I have? How much did I believe in myself? How creative was I? Right? Step back into that energy, wherever it is that you're being guided to, whatever comes up for you about that, revisit that. Okay. It isn't to say to stay there, but revisit it, go back to that for a minute and just see what from that time can I still bring forward that would benefit me now, that would help me in this, process of going into the version of me that I'm supposed to be, right? This is your purpose. Your North Node essentially represents your purpose in this lifetime based on your birth chart. Okay. So, sign that you guys may be seeing that lets you know what you should be doing if you're on your path. You may be already seeing the sign. Some of you, this is a sign to look forward to. We have 666. Okay. Before I read the keywords on here, let me just say, okay, 666 does not represent this demonic entity or being that everybody wants to run from. Please do your research on that, okay? 666 represents 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. That is essentially us, okay? So, 666, okay? So, mind your thoughts. They create things. Absolutely. Be open to the truths of the world. Resist devilish/material temptations, okay? That is your ego. Superficial desires and pleasures. Maintain focus. And we talked about that earlier. Okay, this is where, like I said, is some of you are at currently in this overindulging type of energy, and then wonder why maybe your money is taking a long time to flow in, or things aren't moving as fast as they could be. That's for some of you. That is exactly what this is talking about. Okay, so if you're seeing 666, like while you're, drinking or something, that could be for some of you letting you know that, you've had enough, or you need to take a break. We need to fall back. If there's people that maybe some of you find yourself around that are tempting you into doing things, maybe wanting to hang out, while you're supposed to be working, while you're supposed to be making a plan for your long term, that is maybe somehow some of you are being guided to counterbalance that. Say no to the invitation. Say no to, people that are just want to invite you out to have fun, but they're broke, and then wonder why you're broke, right? Or why things aren't moving as fastly or as progressively as they could be, because maybe the people you're around. Okay, some of you are being asked to, really give up whatever this is that you've been doing, too much of. That is essentially what overindulgence is just not having moderation in something, trying to numb something. What are you pushing down? What are you running from? Okay, that maybe you've been doing for quite some time. Okay. Maintain focus on priorities. Absolutely. Maintain balance in spiritual and physical realms. Okay. That's why I do the pre-shuffle, because y'all watch me, these cards just flew out on its own. Okay. This is again temperance, about balance, moderation. Okay. So as you do that, that's where you heal. That is how you induce more healing into your own life and experience, by acknowledging, allowing yourself to see, where am I doing too much? What am I trying to push down? Why do I feel the need to grab a drink every time I get a little bit stressed out? Or why do I need, asking yourself these questions is going to do more good for you than not. Okay. And the longer we try to, act like we don't want to look at it, we don't want to see it, it's only going to keep you in this in between space of, like my new life is calling me, but why isn't it here yet? Why haven't I stepped into it yet? Okay. Some of you, it's again about making the decision. Okay. Making the choice. I'm ready to leave this behind. I'm ready to leave this friendship circle behind, or this person, this habit, this, coping mechanism, whatever it is. Some of you, that's what's supporting you, again, is making the decision. Some of you, that is what you're being asked to do here. Make the choice, and then start taking the inspired action that you're being guided to take towards that. And watch all the stress, all the anxiety, all the things that have been holding you down, weighing you down, keeping you stuck, making you feel heavy, making you feel like I can't move and I don't have the energy, all those things. That is it's gonna clear all that shit away. Okay. So Aries, I really trust that this reading was supportive to those that needed it. If you did enjoy it, if you did resonate, you know what to do. And yeah, I love y'all so much. And until next time, howdy.